inter-religious harmony song by Saint Aloysius University College. It's Mangaluru. So I hope you'll be able to see this and enjoy the music and feel the togetherness or celebrating the Interfaith Harmony Week.
ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲುಬಿನ ಹಂದರದೊಳಗೊಂದು ಮಂದಿರವಿದೆ. ಉಚ್ಛ್ವಾಸ ನಿಶ್ವಾಸಗಳ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮನಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮನಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಶ್ರೀರಾಮನಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮನಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಶ್ರೀರಾಮನಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ರಕ್ತ ಮಾಂಸದ ದೇಹಗಳ ಗೋಡೆಗಳುರುಳಿದವು ದೇಗುಲಗಳುಳಿದಿವೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲುಬಿನ ಹಂದರದೊಳಗೆ ಬೆಚ್ಚನೆಯ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಪಂಜರದೊಳಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ರಾಮ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೇಸು ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಬುದ್ಧ ಜೈನರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೇಸು ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಬುದ್ಧ ಜೈನರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಕ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಮಹಾದೇವಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಣ್ಣ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಬಸವಣ್ಣನಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಚಂದಿಗನು ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಮಾರುವಳಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಜ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಕೊರಗಜ್ಜನಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಪಂಜುಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಕಲ್ಲುಟ್ಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇರಿ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ.
ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಿನ ನೆಲೆವೀಡು, ಸಾಮರಸ್ಯದ ಜೇನಿನ ಗೂಡು. ಬೆಂದಾಗಿರುವ ನಾವು ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಸಿಂಧುವಾಗಿ ಸಾಮರಸ್ಯದ ಸೂರ್ಯಕಾಂತಿಯಾಗಿ ಭಾವೈಕ್ಯತೆಯ ಸೌರಭದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅರಳೋಣ. ಬಾಧಿಸುವ ಭೇದ ಮರೆತು ಮೋದದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗೋಣ.
Hello, everyone, and thank you very much. And so we began with the music. I believe that was a wonderful music, and with the young people coming together for the Interfaith Harmony Week. And that's, I believe, it's a great beginning. Today, of course, we are here to do this event, the World Interfaith Harmony Week, and the UN official observance of the first week of February. So today we put in a title of Working Together Harmoniously for Peace and transforming, maybe you can read it this way, transforming bias, discrimination and violence into peace, reconciliation and harmony. So with this title, topic, we'll be having this gathering today. And I hope you can still see me. And somehow I lost a little screen right now. But my name is Reverend Dr. TK Nakagaki, President of Heiwa, Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York. And so I'm actually one of the co-sponsors of this the events. So we actually together with International Buddhist Education Center and also Sanghakaya Foundation in India. So actually we are doing this for a while now, a couple of years after the corona started. We actually started to have connected, and then three of this group try to put in some interfaith or international gathering together. Sometimes we do the Buddhist gathering, and sometimes we are international, interfaith gathering. So today, of course, is interfaith part of it. And yeah, well, anyway, nowadays we have all different difficult conditions, I guess, in the world, such as, of course, after the pandemic. And we have some tragedy. So many people die because of that. And then there's still some people suffering. and at the same time, there is Russia, Ukraine wars happening too. So it's also the wars man-made stuff too. So there are many parts, and in this country, we're actually what do you call it? Many of us are here in New York too. New York, we have a lot of also some problem for hate crime issues, Asian hates, and also some of the what do you call it, gun violence too. So so there are quite few, I mean, negative news. I mean, news is always negative, but at the same time, we need to have the kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say right-minded people, but at least we try to bring the peace here. So the people who want to work for interfaith or harmony or peace, we should also get together. So that's why this is getting together, and then we need to have working together, and then when we are together, then we can create more energy, and hopefully this energy will spread to the other community. And so it's not just the negative parts of the life that we have, and we always have problems too, but we need to always transform all those things into peace and happiness and well-beings. So that's the reason that we have this gathering today. And today you will see, prayers and sharing the thoughts of interfaith, or the role of interfaith, or significance of interfaith and practice of interfaith. So simply, why interfaith now? So what is the meaning of the interfaith to myself or to yourself? And so I hope through watching this, some of you are watching this, then through this program, I hope you think yourself, what is interfaith for you. And so I hope you will be together with us and thinking of the interfaith. And then I guess, spirit of interfaith is also, I believe, is very important. And then, yeah, so I hope you enjoy at the same time the good opportunity to think of the peace and focus on the peace. So anyway, greeting from New York. Thank you very much for joining us today. So this is also, you will see in my flyer, there's a different time. So people are coming in from the different parts of the world. And right now, Eastern time is 8:20 almost. So there's a Saudi time there too written, and also India time, Japan time. So each place has different, some places in the late afternoon, and then some evening. And so, but we are gathered here together somehow. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this program, and thank you again. So today we would like to start with UN message, and so I would like to ask Dr. Piya Ratna Mahrajan, Secretary of International Buddhist Education Center. Dr. Piya, floor is yours.
Here. It's a warm greetings and namaste and salam alaikum. And again, I'm very much delighted to be here representing International Buddhist Education Center. At the same time, my name is Dr. Piya Ratna. I am also the Vice President of Interreligious Federation of Nepal. It is called IPFN, Interreligious Peace Federation for Nepal. At the same time, Interreligious Network for Nepal. So this is a very active organization which has been very much active engagement of promoting interreligious religious leaders, at the same time faith-based organization involving all religious leaders in Nepal, at the same time in Southeast Asia, in reducing the social harmony and social destructions, and promoting peace and harmony in the society. I'm very glad to be here in this Interfaith Harmony Week, which has been celebrating every year from 1st February to 7th. And today, due to our lack of time, actually, we selected to have this celebration of the UN Interfaith Harmony Week to be have at the last day of the week of Interfaith Harmony Week. So I'm very much glad again be a part of the organizer for this event, and we have been discussing with this event for a few days, and as in last month, I think, with Dr. Reverend TK Nakagaki, and also the president of the Sanghakaya Foundation, and in India. And due to some of the speaker, and also Dr. Venerable Sobhita, who was not able to join today the Zoom meeting because of the internet. So I will, he's sending me the message that he asking me to read on behalf of him due to his absence. So may I have get permission to read his message in shortly, and after that, and then I will discuss about the importance of the World Interfaith Harmony Week, and at the same time the statement of the Interfaith Harmony Week. As just now I mentioned that the Venerable Sobhita, who was not able to join today, and he sent me the message and saying to read on behalf of him. And his message goes like this: Dear global interfaith friends, greetings from Myanmar. I came back from European and United States and just arrived in Myanmar today. And I haven't been seen long time, period of not online. And my organization and monastery are located in Sagaing region, where the political conflicts, violence are happening in Myanmar. And currently, I provide shelter, food, and education for over 5,000 refugees at the International Buddhist Education Center in Sagaing, Myanmar. And I would like to inform you that I had attended the 77th General Assembly of United Nations last year. And also, just last month, I also attended this, get message to Secretary General for the on behalf of Myanmar, reporting the reality of the situation in Myanmar and how to promote peace and harmony. And also he had a chance to attend the high-level meeting on the 77th session of UN last year, and he reported all about the Myanmar's political situation and also the how to bring the peace and stability in his country. And he delivered also speeches during the conference at the International World Peace Conference that was in Stockholm, Sweden. And also in Tokyo, he went to attend the United Nations World Peace Association that was held. At the same time, he also representing International Buddhist community, and in the recently held the G5 that was held in Indonesia, and he reported all this activity and how to promote the dialogue between the different faiths, and the political situation that's happening, how the community in Myanmar is going on, and the wars and violence and that is happening in Myanmar, and his efforts to prevent this war in Myanmar, and the difficult interfaith dialogue is also been very much in place due to these situations. And as Myanmar is a peaceful country and still promoting interfaith harmony with other religions, and we all crave tactical advice about how to handle them, what to say and what to do. But the primary predictors, such as crucial conversation, has less to do with how you use your mouth. So there are several things that you can do, prepare for type of tricky conversation, whether delivering tough feedback or negotiation a new role. First, connect with your real motives and for the others, and the challenges that he is having in back to his country, and he hope that the things will be move more smoothly, harmony in the country, so that the world can have the peaceful world and humility, and we all should be work together to promote peace and harmony, and bring the peace with dialogues among the religion. And we must all religious leaders should be work in front of the UN and have to work closely. All religious leaders has to come forward to promote peace and harmony. So in this this is the message that delivered by the Venerable Dr. Sobhita. He's the founder and chairman of International Buddhist Education Center, based in Myanmar, and also registered in back to UN, United Nations, Nepal, Netherlands, and Africa. Okay, now can you see now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
The version of the World Interfaith Harmony Week, which we abbreviation is in short WIHW, conceived to promote a culture of peace and nonviolence, was first proposed by King Abdullah of Jordan at the United Nations in 2010, and it is almost 13 years back. And this was quickly adopted by the UN General Assembly resolutions and declaring the first week of the February. This is now, which is the fall in February, and each year has the World Interfaith Harmony Week. That's they're now celebrating around the world, as the even United Nations has been promoting this event every year. And as I heard, the 3rd of February, and United Nations in person, many the interfaith leaders, religious leaders, and organization and civil society has been attended in person and also online. And the calling on the governments, institutions, and civil society to observe it with various programs and initiatives that promote the aim of WIHW, the objective. So since that day, and there are different themes has been adopted each year. And for me, one of the themes that I was very much touched by during that 2014. And that time, the theme was tolerance, reconciliation, and forgiveness. And this has been also actually honoring the Nelson Mandela, who led the South Africa during the critical transition from the apartheid system. So this, after having this interfaith harmony and the many world has been receiving a kind of strong messages, even the government and faith-based organization and interfaith groups, person and individual, very much emphasizing on the interfaith harmony, that we have to bring this harmony worldwide and through United Nations. So why is this interfaith harmony important? Because the interfaith harmony encourages peaceful coexistence among practitioners of various religious beliefs in an age of increasing political and social differences. That's happening around the world now. And now I just like to read the statement and the promoting the interfaith dialogue and the excuse me, letter is very small. I have to read without my glass. Okay, the statement of promoting interfaith dialogue and embracing the Interfaith Harmony Week. Whereas all the people of the world are born together by their common humanity and their common planet Earth, and by love of God and the love and one's neighbor, a love of the good and love of one's neighbor. Whereas achieving true peace and reconciliation in the world requires harmonious relations and understanding between adherents of the world, religions, faiths, and beliefs. Whereas 85% of the world's populations belong to one faith or another, and recognizing that extremists and exacerbate tensions and spread misunderstanding, mistrust between adherents of these faiths, whereas there's a central and essential common, a ground of love, compassion, acceptance, and tolerance among all religions, faiths, and beliefs, however different may be. Whereas the efforts of His Majesty King Abdullah II of Jordan led a historical Imam message to back in November 2004 and 2007 initiative, a common word. Whereas the United Nations General Assembly resolutions, a resolution 65 by 5 of 20 October 2010 established the World Interfaith Harmony Week. We, participants of the initiative of entitled Dialogue on Faith, Peace Building and Development, joined the declaration and affirmed that we will continue to promote interfaith dialogue within the United Nations system to foster mutual understanding, harmony, and cooperation among all people. We will continue to promote and commemorate the Interfaith Harmony Week every year in United Nations capitals to spread the message of harmony and tolerance among the followers of all religion, faiths, and beliefs. We welcome initiatives that endeavors to ease religious tensions which pose a serious threat to our collective security, including the most recent initiative, United Nations Secretary General on Plan of Action to Prevent Violence Extremists. We denounce violent extremism as one of the barriers to our collective efforts towards maintaining peace and security, fostering sustainable development, protecting human rights, promoting the rules of the law, and taking humanitarian actions. We call upon all the member states of United Nations to join efforts to spreading the message of interfaith harmony, mutual understanding, and good will combat violent extremists and to unite to achieve true peace and reconciliation in the world. So this is the statement promoting interfaith harmony and embracing the Interfaith Week. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Piya. I forgot to ring the bell, by the way. Today we have some rule to try to do, but this bell is a mindful bell. I mean, peaceful bell too. It's not rushing to stop and fight with you, but rather is a kindness that you know how much you spend the time, and then at the same time, yeah. So I do have going to ring the bell, like if you can hear the bell like this. So kind of peaceful, right? So if you like, you can meditate. But so I'll bring about 5 minutes, and then there maybe another 8 minutes pass, and then 10 minutes. So like 3 times, and so you could be mindful, and yeah. So normally we ask for 5 to 10 minutes. So you can spend your time to share your thoughts and or your thinking, as I explained before, or the significance, or the role of interface and all those things. And plus, your activities also, what you're doing this year, because I'm sure everything start moving, and after pandemic, there's expecting a lot of different interfaith activities going too. So I hope that will be also another opportunity to hear what other people do. And so be that encourage other people to organize the similar things, or so the more the cycle of the peace will spread. So today we are very fortunate. First of all, I would like to have yeah, Monica Willard, and I'm very glad that she's able to come, because she used to be, was in a way the past president of the Committee of Religious NGOs at the UN, United Nations, and Monica actually helped establish this World Interfaith Harmony Week, annual observances at the United Nations and around the world. So this is, in a way, thanks to her. And then, of course, there are more people joining her too. Because of that, we are able to have this week. And so we are very fortunate to have her, to be here. And she's a charter members of the United Religious Revisions Initiative. And so and also, yeah, she's doing a lot of parts of the nuclear weapons part too. So we're very happy to have you here today. And so I thank you. And then the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK. I hope I'm using a technology I haven't used very often, and I am glad to be with you. I'm so honored to connect with people around the world for World Interfaith Harmony Week. And I love this resolution because when it was presented, two things happened. The word love turned up in a UN General Assembly resolution 4 times. As was mentioned, the love of God and the love of neighbor was matched with the love of good and the love of neighbor in the World Interfaith Harmony Week resolution. And so to hold that as core and the place to start in our discussions, in our actions, in our appreciation for people from diverse faiths, and to have started this particular event with the music of honoring different traditions is always such a joy to hear the voices and to hear the harmony. And so I want to thank TK. I want to thank the others on this call. And I also want us to think about what it means to each of us to love God and love your neighbor, how this has to be together. And I have had the joy for many years now of representing an organization at the United Nations called the United Religions Initiative. And our purpose is to promote enduring daily interfaith cooperation and to end religiously motivated violence and to create cultures of peace, justice, and healing for the earth and all living beings. So when that is the core of your organization, you have the opportunity to live it in a more mindful way. And I have been very blessed to do that and to know that members of the United Religions Initiative are working within their communities in 116 countries with over 1 million members and really reaching out to address both the needs that create conflict, and methods of addressing it to build cooperation and to bring communities together, because we are a grassroots organization. And it is so important that we recognize that our neighbor is not just next door or not someplace else. And as I'm sitting here thinking about neighborhoods as a planet, I think of how we've been shaken just yesterday with a horrific humanitarian call in Turkey and Syria, with a massive earthquake that is affecting many, many people. So it is absolutely essential that wherever we sit today, we think about our neighbors not just next door, not just in our community, but globally. And sometimes thinking globally just can bring out a way of treating our next door neighbor even better. And so it is that give and take, looking at the whole, but knowing that it is a moral call to live in a harmonious way as you can. And I think about the way religions and the way communities feed the hungry and educate people and take care of health issues and add a spiritual dimension to people's lives that only can be appreciated on the individual level, and yet it's presented collectively, and sometimes there are different beliefs. But is it the different beliefs that really should be what's examined? Or is it the love, that love of God, that love of good that we are being called to live to create the culture of peace? And I want to thank all of those who serve in ways to help others in small and in big tasks. And I would particularly like us to think about what it does to our hearts, to look at the destruction that an earthquake causes and what that brings out in us in wanting to help. And yet, if you look at the results, it doesn't look much different than the landscape that is happening in the Ukraine. Bombs that people created, warfare that nations approve of or are engaged in and put tons of money into, cause more destruction than the shaking of the earth. And we must find a new way to bring that love that has been gifted to us by just being born on this planet and bring it out and help us. And I think that on that note, we need to take a deep breath in, breathe in the world, breathe out peace, and know that each of us have the responsibility to live into that love that we've been gifted, sharing it, and creating a new space, but particularly addressing the needs of eliminating war and violence. Because to just keep patching up the hurt and producing the weapons of destruction, we're not addressing on how we can live together. So TK, I want to thank you for inviting me. I want to thank you for connecting the world. I think this gathering is very important because it marks an annual occasion, but it reminds us with a bell, with music, with prayers daily, that it is our job to live in a culture of peace and to help create it with what we do, what we think, what we say, and how we treat others. So I wish you a wonderful day. And I'm going to close with the prayer I use throughout my day. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you.
Yeah, Thank you so much. Appreciate for your wonderful speech. And are you able to hear me? Okay. Yeah. So we're very grateful for. Sorry, your something is got stuck here, but I hope you can see. Okay. So um, let me see. Thank you, Monica, for a wonderful speech and wonderful, the talk. It's always good to hear from you, but also very serious issues that we are facing. And so I hope interfaith, this will enhance or, maybe we can work together as something more for the for the especially the nuclear issues. I think it's we do a lot of things, but nuclear issues are sometimes kind of too far from us. But yet it's a lot of now we feel the threat. Some people start worried about too, which is kind of natural thing. We should much earlier so that we
I
don't
did
have
bring
to.
the prayer if you want to hear it later.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what I thought. Are you going to do? But somehow
I am going to do
close.
it, but I didn't want it. I didn't know when you wanted it. So thank you.
Okay.
I,
Can you, if you don't mind, is that okay? You can do it now?
I would love to share that
Okay,
because
great.
as we are looking at the culture of peace, we have to address some of the important messages. In this particular prayer, it was written by Reverend William E. Swing, who is the founder of the United Religions Initiative. The beginning and the end are in your hands, O Creator of the universe. And in our hands, you have placed the fate of this planet. We who are tested by having both creative and destructive power in our free will, turn to you in sober fear and in intoxication. We ask for your guidance and to share in your imagination in our deliberations about the use of nuclear force. Help us to lift the fog of atomic darkness that hovers so pervasively over our earth, your earth, so that soon all eyes may see life magnified by your pure light. Bless all of us who wait today for your presence and who dedicate ourselves to achieve your intended peace and rightful equilibrium on earth. In the name of all that is holy and all that is hoped. Amen. Thank you, TK. And I want to remind people.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is such a critical issue along with climate change and how we and as faiths can work together to make it address quickly so that we can open more hearts is really the job of Interfaith Harmony Week, because we need that collective shift to that love of God, that love of good, and love of neighbor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And so we'll continue to work for that. And so I'm looking forward to doing even summertime in August is something very important for Hiroshima, Nagasaki. And so I know you've been doing some wonderful planning. So we'll see what we can do. And then I hope many people can join us as well. So I thank you again for your wonderful presentation prayers too. So thank you. And this time I would like to invite Guruji, Dileepji. So he's deep in India somewhere. So the internet hope works. But are you there? I hope. Let me introduce first of all. So so he's the president of the what do you call it? World Yoga Community, and also he's actually start moving a lot of activities going on in our UN area to secretary at the Committee of Revision NGOs at the United Nations, and also main NGO representative to the United Nations Economic and Social Council at World Yoga Community. And so he's doing a lot of wonderful things from the yoga side, and then bringing Eastern traditions to have a table for the communication or interfaith dialogue. So anyway, Guruji, thank you again for joining, and the floor is yours, and thank you.
Namaste everyone, happy World Interfaith Harmony Week. I'm just traveling from northern part of Kerala to my city, so you can hear the sound from the train. So it's my great pleasure to join. It is honor to and to thank Dr. Nakagaki, Monica Willard, Rogina, Dr. Breyer, and Aryama, Dr. Piya Ratna, to co-organize this event under the leadership of TK Nakagaki. This is our bread and butter for every year. So a few months back I came to Europe, because even though we have our celebrations every year, I think as a human being, we all are divine creatures on this earth to serve, love and care. I don't think more than that. We may come from different religion or cultures, but as a spiritual being, we have to take care of people. Even I see, when I am traveling in India, some parts of the world, people don't have enough food or water, and we have duty to take care of our colleagues or friends or neighbors. You know? So I thought we had to put really solid projects. So every day I'm going to different cities and ashrams, orphanages, meeting numerous people in the last 2 months, back to back. I had to say leaders from URI came to visit us, and we had a beautiful interfaith ceremony. And this coming Sunday we have this summit which happened in Mangaluru, our friend and some other people, Piya and all of the people. Let us see how it will work out. But the last day is Interfaith Festival. Our last day. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Guruji, and drive safely, and so wherever the destination you're heading, and thank you for sharing your interfaith experience. I know you. I've seen your Facebook. You're moving around to India, and every place you probably bring in the message of peace. So yeah, enjoy and keep doing it. I think you're coming back in a March or so, right? So continue to going all over the part of the India. I think all the state you're going to go, I think. So anyway.
10 states I covered, 10 states.
Okay, so I guess because of the internet, we stop here for you, but then we really appreciate your presence joining today, Chloe. And our Reverend Dr. Chloe she's the executive director of the Interfaith Center of New York. And so they have a long time doing a lot of stuff and social stuff and political stuff, but then so many things, important aspects of the city, and the city need the Interfaith Center of New York to run more for the great harmony together. So Chloe is one of the really main person to run. So I appreciate it very much, and thank you very much for your time. I know you're very busy today, but thanks for joining today. And okay, Chloe.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much, Reverend TK, for for organizing this event on World Interfaith Harmony Week, and as is a great time to spotlight work all over the planet that is involved and seeking to create more harmony between faiths, and as a consequence, more harmony and peace in our world. And I thought I might share just a perspective from what is happening here in New York City, because in many ways that also echoes some of the challenges that exist in other parts of the world as well. In particular, this year, we have in New York experienced what many cities around the country and around the world are experiencing, and that is the arrival of many people from parts of the earth that are really increasingly unlivable. And it takes a lot for someone to leave their home. We know that. We in New York have always been a place for immigration, but this past year, it's really with the decision by leaders towards the southern border to put people onto buses and send them here to New York, sometimes involuntarily. We have, as a city, received a lot of people at a very short amount of time. And as a place where more than 60,000 people are already homeless, we have a huge challenge on our hands with an additional 40-something thousand arriving since last August, often from places like Venezuela, but not only Venezuela. We also have a large number of people coming from Western Africa, from Senegal and other places, who often take the same route, but just with another group of countries between where they start and where they end up. And so the Interfaith Center has been working, houses of worship have always been places of hospitality. And as other people on the call have mentioned, we have a duty in so many of our different faith traditions to be places of hospitality, places where we can offer or seek to offer the basics that people need to live. And so in New York, there have been many churches, but also many mosques that often don't get quite as much attention, that have hosted people coming from other countries. And in particular, the Interfaith Center has sought to really, bring attention to the houses of worship from often non-Christian faith traditions that are also doing this work of hospitality and are often the first port of call for people. And in particular, I'm thinking of some mosques in the Bronx, where particularly the Senegalese migrants have come, and often staying in a small mosque of up to 100 people at a time. And it's a illustration, I think, for all of us from different faith traditions of what we can do if we put our mind to it. So I want to offer this as an example. We also are trying to gather in support, because sometimes when you learn, what is it that motivates other people from their faith traditions to do this work, it gives you energy and energy to do your own work. And so I wanted to share just that I think, in New York, when faith traditions come together around this, a common challenge, that can also sometimes help us to build harmony and to build peace and to give us, inspiration to continue to do this very difficult work. And with that, I wanted to close with a poem that's actually from a book called The Plateau, which was about how a village in France sheltered a lot of people in World War II, a lot of Jewish people and other people who were seeking to escape from the Nazis. And this book talked about, the way that whatever faith that we're from, we are encouraged to have compassion. And we're encouraged to have a very deep sort of compassion. And this poem is one sort of illustration of why. And I think it can, again, apply to all of us from no matter what faith tradition we're from. It's from Goethe, and it's called The Wanderer's Night Song. And I'll end with this. Thou that from the heavens art, every pain and sorrow stillest, and the doubly wretched heart doubly with refreshment fillest. I am weary with contending. Why this pain and desire? Peace descending. Come, ah, come into my breast. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Chloe. Thank you for joining us and sharing us the what's going on in the New York City at this point. And it is many things are difficult, and how we can maybe help each other is really key. But we need more people to help each other, I guess. So I thank you, Imam. Finally, sorry. Did I push the wrong button? Sorry. So he's actually traveling right now to Saudi Arabia and Mecca place, and so he's actually contacting from there. So that's why we have a little time for the Saudi time too, and which is very wonderful that he was able to join us. And so he's president of the Interfaith Center of USA, and Imam Muhammad Shahidullah, and so yeah, from the Mecca this time. Okay, so thank you. I think I can't hear you. There's the voice. Oh, great. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you.
Good evening. Here is time, the local time, almost 5 o'clock. We just pray in our holy place. This is city named Medina in Saudi Arabia. And thank you, everyone. And thank you, Deacon Nakagaki and Heiwa Foundation of Reconciliation. And actually, like the Interfaith Center of USA, we did the couple of event with in our community with try to establish like the harmony. And it's 2023, we have resolution to do something more to establish like especially like focus like our youth community in Queens, in like Long Island and like the other few area. And the last month, like in January 2023, we have like the interfaith prayer and then breakfast, and we're planning to do like the program, in the Queens, like how we're going to rebuild the relationship more better than this year, with the other worship center, because the South Queens and especially in like the Elmont, the few area, we try to like the secure, like, the faith-based community center and the educational center as well. And now actually I'm in the bus, we're going somewhere, and I'm sorry for that, but definitely we'll work together, and then whatever, our aim and goal, so God bless us, and we'll hope reach our target. Thank you, Tikinagari. Thank you, all faith leader, and we'll pray for everyone. We believe we are under one God, and then hopefully the peace and everyone will be happy. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you so much from the Saudi Arabia, and so it's great to have him, and from the Muslim community. So we work in different programs together also, and so it's always nice to see you. And in spite of your busy schedule, you are able to join us, which is very appreciative from myself. And let me remove you from the screen. And so I just also maybe wanted to share myself also part of the program. I'm emceeing, but at the same time, maybe I wanted to say a few words from what I'm doing at the same time. And so so my part is first of all, I just mentioned in the beginning how important is the interfaith part. And then I think the world is getting small, when we talk about globalization, I think interfaith is very important because all the different religions together. And then before, a lot of time, before any country, people, everybody's sort of fighting together, fighting each other in one way, because they're coming to the different world and we don't know anything what's going on. So it's so as a religion too. Religion could be used as the way create the violence and so forth. But now, of course, the world is getting smaller. We exchange a lot of things, and the interfaith is one area too. We should be able to find a way to work together, instead of fighting together. I mean, fighting each other. So I think that's very important aspects of the interfaith and all the, globalization that we're living nowadays. And so, so that's first of all very significant. I think before, each religion have their own things and they could just do their own. But then, of course, there are relation with others, but not like today's or even like today we are connecting through the internet and so forth. So we have all the relations that we can build, and so I mean, anything or the online, sometimes this could be good, this could be bad too. But of course, some people try to use for the different, bad reasons or selfish reasons. But then yet we can use this, internet things with better reason for peace, building the peace, and try to bring understanding each other and respecting each other. And so that's something very unique for the interfaith. And then the global world, meaning I think interfaith is a very important role that we have. And that's what I think. And then at the same time, the interfaith start from the Judeo-Christian interfaith, and then now we do also have, Guruji came from India, Hindu, and myself from Buddhist. So the interfaith become also the different religion, totally different background are coming together too. So there's it's a very difficult time sometimes, we have, but yet but yet you can understand each other, how the history, acknowledge the history and the values and so forth is another important things. So actually for myself this year well, a couple of things, I started the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York, which is actually interfaith efforts, but also not just the interfaith represent among the religion, but then the peace and so forth should be not just the religious part or cultural things or, all the other people, artists, musicians and everybody together to bring the peace. And each one have their own role to play to create the peace together. So since we live in this world together, share the earth together. So I think it's very essential. And, for me, it is like orchestra. I said this many times before too. Before used to have like violins are number one, piano is number one, or maybe trumpet is number one or something like that. But yet when you create the harmony, the orchestra, each one is a number one still, but yet they start making a different sound together too. So which means in order to do that, we need to have mutual understanding and mutual respect. You don't want to say, only your sound is number one, but then ignore the other sound, but rather, you listen to the other sound, and then sometimes you'll be the one who wanted to lead this particular part, but then the other part, you'll be the quiet one to be supporting the others. So that kind of relation is actually very important, I think. And so for me, the nice music, nice orchestra itself represent how, interfaith should be done. And anyway, that's one of my feeling nowadays, and have been for a long time too. But particularly this time for gathering together, because of this difficult situation of all the COVID, after COVID, and all the hate crimes and the wars and the violence and so forth all over the place. So interface, we should be able to create better news. I mean, unfortunately, the good news doesn't go up to the people, but hopefully the good news should be the one that we can create together. And so for me, this year, 2023, we try to go forward. And so that happened to be the year of, the rabbits, and rabbits has a big ears. So in a way, it's actually listen to each other well and more, and so we can work together. And then so one thing, this is one of the reasons we have all the different speakers and different backgrounds that they have, and we listen, all the peoples, and then we decide where we can jump. And so that's something that I would like to share. And a couple of things that I'm focusing on this year is also actually for me, this is my 30th year anniversary organizing Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August. So, and then the nuclear threat is coming to, many ways for the Russia-Ukraine war part. And and it is actually very important to have really more voices coming together to stop the nuclear weapons and reduce those threats. And the nuclear energy, sometimes they say clean energy, but yet it's actually the waste. Nuclear waste is destroying this planet too. So there are many parts nuclear is connected, kind of taboo to talk about, but yet we should probably talk about it. And the second thing that we are focusing on is like a dialogue between East and West. And one particular symbol that I'm dealing with these days is a swastika symbol, which has been long time, important symbol for the Eastern tradition. Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, or even also Native Americans and or Zoroastrians also have been using those symbols. And Native Americans, as I said, and other indigenous people. So those symbol has been very important for thousands of years. And so that's somehow we should be able to respect each other, as I said. And then so East and West may be difficult to match, but yet it's important. So educational part probably is something that I'm focusing on this year. So I think more things we can learn together and then work together. So that's the message, or at the same time my sharing for today. I just wanted to do my prayer, simple meditation, and chanting simply, and dedicate to those who are suffering and to those who gone before us. And peace prayer. Kudoku Byodo Seisai no Tsubo Daishin Ojo May all living beings be happy, well, and peaceful. May we all be free from suffering. May we all be free from pain. May we all be free from attachment, from greed, anger, and ignorance. May we all attain ultimate happiness and peace of enlightenment through the guidance of Buddha's wisdom and compassion. Namah. And peace to you all. Okay, thank you. So I'd like to do a little peace slide. So since we have all those talks, and so maybe time to digest ourselves. So maybe what I'm thinking is by showing the peace light now, I hope you see the light of the peace. So And so I'll add to them to the spot. Pete, are you going to say something about the peace light, or are you here with me? Ah, okay, great. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yes, unmute.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Namaste. It's always a privilege to bring a symbol of peace to these sorts of events, and especially Interfaith Harmony Week. It's been involved with Interfaith Harmony Week for 6 or 7 years now. And this is the crux of it, working together across all boundaries. And certainly faiths are an important way of kind of looking at that. So the symbolism of peace lights that you see behind me is that the colors represent the different cultures in the world. And the motion represents how those cultures work together and interact to achieve harmony and peace and good energy. When we created peace lights, we actually were considering what the colors should stand for. And one of the considerations was, should they stand for religions? Should they stand for faiths? And we decided on cultures because cultures incorporate faith traditions, all different faith traditions. You'll also see the words peace lights come up behind me in 55 different languages in this version of peace lights. And one of the important things that I like to mention is that wherever peace lights plays around the world at whatever event, people are encouraged to project their own thoughts and intents for peace into these lights. It's been so many times commented about the energy of the lights. And I believe that the energy is a two-way street, not only energy that it brings to an environment, but the energy that is absorbed from the different events and people and intents and prayers that are directed with peace lights in the air. So thank you to Heiwa for the invitation, all the organizers, all the speakers, and I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon in the future. Namaste.
Okay, so what we do is I'll just ring the 3 bells, and one is maybe peace in physical, the physical body. You can think for the first bell, all over the the walls and everything, and then the peace in maybe mouth. We're using words, and we communicate with the words. So maybe try to think of the peaceful words, or the kind words and so forth is the one that I want you to focus on. The third one is the mind, the peaceful mind. So we need to have peaceful mind, to be able to do the peace work. So we do all those 3. I think we should be mindful of the one peace in body, peace in or action, you can say peace in action, peace in speech, and peace in the mind. So okay, thank you everyone. So it's a little short one, but so once in a while it's good to think. Probably even every day, once a day, or twice a day, 3 times a day, you can think of the moment of just focusing on the peace in mind words and body, I believe. Also now, well, I guess internet problems. I couldn't find the Ajahn yet. So maybe, but also, well, at least Mr. Aryama. Do you have any comments? He's from the Hindu traditions, and if you're still wanted to share something that's from your side, what you maybe reflection that you felt for today, please share. Thank you.
Namaste, sisters and
Namaste.
brothers. Salutations to you all. I'm very happy to see you all again. I'm an advisor for the Sri Satya Sai Baba Associated Sarvadharma Service Center, which means All Faiths Service Center, located in Howell, New Jersey, which conducts service activities in the local and international communities, including soup kitchen, food bank activities, yoga classes, spiritual events, disaster relief activities. Thank you very much for the invitation to be here. I've been attending the World Interfaith Harmony Week for several years. And I also used to work in the UN. And I just wanted to say a prayer because we believe in the brotherhood of man and the fatherhood of God. So from faith to interfaith, go to multi-faith. See unity in the diversity. And just as we adore our mother, respect the mothers of all faiths. Now, I'd like to say the Shanti mantra or peace mantra from the Taittiriya Upanishad, which is as follows. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mahavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May God protect us together. May God nourish us together. May we work together with great energy. May our study be vigorous and effective. May we not mutually dispute. May we not hate anyone. Om. Let there be peace in me. Let there be peace in my environment. Let there be peace in the forces that act on me. And the concluding prayer is Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings in all worlds be happy. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The thing is also from India, the Venerable Piya Ratna Gautama, he was supposed to conclude for today's session, but
Yeah, but he's not online. He's lost connection. I think
yeah,
7 minutes before.
Piya, do you have any more?
Yes, I will do. I'll do closing remarks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Please do that.
Okay. Okay. Warm greetings and message of peace from Kathmandu, Nepal, and the place of the birthplace of the Lord Buddha, who was the messenger of peace. And I'm very happy. And even this year, Interfaith Harmony Week was concluded successfully with the participation from the different religious background. And as I asked T.K. Nakagaki, Dr. and Monica, and the Peter, and even Dr. Sobhita, who could not come in the line. And with the around more than a month's efforts, and today actually we came into today's events, and though we are having limited numbers of participants, and it has been very much successful, and we discuss a lot and share the views and on the interfaith harmony, and also we share our expression of condolence of the earthquakes that happen, massive earthquake that happen in Turkey and Syria, and we are watching, and also at the same time while I'm watching, and I'm also coordinating these humanitarian efforts through different NGO, giving supports for the Turkey. And I'm coordinating with one of the Turkey who is in coordinating for the providing reliefs to those who have victims and those who have lost their lives, and also appealing from around the world for support for the Turkey. And as we are the religious leader, with a prayer that should be go for the victims of the earthquake that has happened, massive, and also Nepal is not away from that earthquake. We also had the earthquake, biggest earthquake during 2015, and we also experienced 6 months before another earthquake was happened, but that's not what's big. It's not that massive as before. And whatever we from around the world, as we are the peace lover and promoting harmony among the religious leaders, and we also should encourage doing more humanitarian works. And among that, and just to inform that interreligious leaders, interfaith groups in Nepal also being active compared to past 2 decades. And all the Muslims, Hindu, Christians, all the faiths, religious leaders come together, and we also try to come as a one voice, reducing the social harmony practices in Nepal. For example, we all the religious leaders from their religious mosque, whether it is a Gumba temple, a Hindu temple, or the church, and synagogue, we all come together and do prayer and always maintain social harmony, and not having always harmony that been prevailing in Nepal. And we are living coexistence. So I would like to invite all our interfaith groups, leaders to visit Nepal and want to show and coexistence of the harmony. That's how we are living with Hindus, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, very much harmony. And we do not have any problem, but still we are working together these past decades more intensively with the efforts from the UNICEF, UNDP, all UN agency, reducing the, like for example, we have minority issues, and also the child marriage, which is marriage between happening from 10 years to 12 years. So in the villages. So, and all the religious leaders come front, and when they come for horoscope, asking for the marriage, and the horoscope, the religious leader, Hindu, even Buddhist, they say, oh, your age is minority. Your age is not yet. So you have to wait until our government decision is to have 20 years old. Once you become 20 years old, then you can get married. So therefore, all these our religious leaders working together, helping government and other agency, because people in Nepal, they believe on religious leaders. Even they don't listen to any others, but the institution of interfaiths, religious leader, they respect so much, they believe on that. So therefore, whatever the church, the pastor speak, Imam speaks, in monastery, the Hindu gurus speak, and the Buddhist reverends and the venerables, they speak, they respect so much. Even the government respects so much. That's why the UN agency brought interreligious leaders in front in combating the all issues of social harmony practices that is Nepal. Not only Nepal, as well as Southeast Asia, even India, Bangladesh, and so much trafficking children, and all this kind of has happening in Southeast Asia mostly. And now religious leaders came in front to reduce, and it has been reducing so much of this also social harmony. So this is what is important is aspect of the interfaith. I mean, religious leaders come together in actions And that is the most valuable things that the government has been accepted. So even in constitution, and though Nepal was declared as the Hindu country, but recently our constitutions promulgated and changed that this is the country of religious freedom, so that all religious can practice well, equally, no minority. All religious has been given the equal roles and responsibility, and they can practice their own religion with their full freedom. So this is the even URI is very much active in Nepal, and Dr. Chintamani Yogi is one of my friend. He has been very leading of the URI, and they have been recently went to India, and I was also involved in the URI 20 years back when I was a monk, a Buddhist monk, and at the time when I was in Taiwan as a Buddhist monk, I led the dialogue between Christian and Buddhist. So that time I was there, and even went to Vatican to Buddhist leaders, monks and nuns went to Vatican and have dialogue between the Christian and Buddhist. So in this way, I'm coordinating for interfaith harmony and activities in Nepal. So I am having two organizations I mentioned is National and Interreligious Peace Federation Nepal. So this is a two government register interfaith organization in Nepal. So all powerful religious leaders representing all the faiths is in working together. So I'm very much happy that representing Nepal, I had some chances to speak on behalf of all our religious leaders from around the world, and look forward working together and bring the peace and harmony around the world. And thank you very much for coming to joining in this today's event with the great effort from TK Nakagaki and myself. We have been working and talking how we can make this happen. And though he was so much busy, I'm also very much busy. And of course, despite all our obstacles, busiest time, today's event was happened, and we had discussed widely. And thank you very much again for all the religious leaders, the followers, and adherents. And let's have this event again next time, and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.